You aren't resting. You are committing anatomical suicide. The moment you close your eyes, your favorite sleeping position is violently crushing your spine and strangling your vital organs. Watch until the very end to discover the one elite posture that permanently stops this nightly devastation. Listen to me. Tonight, when you drop yourself onto that soft mattress, pull the warm blanket over your chest and close your eyes. Do you honestly believe you are drifting off into some peaceful dreamland to rest? That romanticized, cliché concept is the greatest lie we have ever been sold. The brutal reality is that the exact moment you lose consciousness, your body doesn't rest. It is officially thrown into a violent, 8-hour shift with zero margin for error. It is a bloody, bare-knuckle brawl between your fragile musculoskeletal system and a relentless, invisible giant that never sleeps. Earth's gravity. That's right. The gravitational pull of 9.8 meters per second squared is constantly tearing at, dragging down, and crushing every single muscle fiber, spinal disc, and vital organ against your mattress. If you've ever woken up with a stiff neck, a shoulder aching to the bone, or stomach acid burning a hole in your throat, only to turn around and blame your $1,000 mattress or whine about a pillow with bad feng shui, you are dead wrong. You are silently destroying yourself every single night without even realizing it. The Wealth Ladder 6 Min, Chao Kui 6 Vakak Ban. Before we dive deep into dissecting the dark corners of the sleeping postures that are quietly ruining your life, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. Your support is the raw fuel that gives this channel the drive to continue uncovering the most unfiltered truths about your health, handing you the ultimate key to mastering your own machine in our upcoming videos. Now, let's look at things purely pragmatically. The fundamental nature of sleep is a brutally unforgiving discipline of biomechanics. When you unconsciously twist your spine in the middle of the night, it is physically no different than hauling a 100-pound bag of cement on one slanted shoulder and standing perfectly still for 8 straight hours. What human body could possibly survive that kind of devastation? The generic, sugar-coated health advice floating around the internet is nothing but shallow lip service. Here, we're going completely under the hood to expose the ruthless physical mechanisms your body is forced to endure while you are knocked out. It is time to eradicate this mindset of leaving your physical fate to chance and start treating your biomechanical structure like your most valuable investment portfolio. The posture you choose before closing your eyes is your ultimate risk management strategy. Choose wrong, and you are quietly torching your cartilage, overclocking your internal organs to the point of exhaustion, and signing your own early death warrant. But if you understand the physics and choose correctly, you weaponize gravity. You turn your worst enemy into the ultimate leverage to radically optimize your cellular recovery cycles. You will wake up every morning not feeling shattered, but with a spine forged of cold steel and a razor-sharp mind ready to step out there and conquer the world. So, brace yourself and buckle up, because we are about to embark on a meticulous anatomical journey, exposing the fatal flaws in every single sleeping habit you naively thought was harmless. To grasp the sheer brutality of the gravitational force we just established, we must first confront the absolute worst, most biomechanically disastrous way you could possibly surrender your body to the mattress. Imagine taking a thick, heavy, wet towel, grabbing it tightly by both ends, and violently wringing it out until the inner fibers stretch, snap, and groan under the extreme tension. That towel is your spinal cord when you make the fatal decision to sleep on your stomach. It absolutely baffles the mind that millions of people consider this anatomical suicide to be a cozy, comforting way to end their exhaustive day. When you lie face down, your body is pinned essentially flat against the bed, but unless you possess the impossible biological ability to breathe through the back of your skull, you are violently forced to crank your neck to an extreme 90-degree angle just to keep life-sustaining oxygen flowing into your lungs. You are locking your delicate cervical spine into a state of maximum torsion, clamping down on crucial blood vessels, and holding that torturous position for hours on end. It is a postural nightmare of epic proportions. The sheer mechanical stress placed on the upper vertebrae and the surrounding musculature is catastrophic. Over time, this slow, nightly strangulation grinds down your precious cartilage, pinches critical nerve pathways, and leaves you waking up with massive tension headaches and shoulders that feel like they have been beaten with a hammer. But the devastation does not abruptly stop at your neck. Because the heaviest, most dense part of the human machine is the center of the torso, stomach sleeping forces your midsection to sink deep into the mattress, completely reversing the natural, protective curve of your lower back. Your lumbar spine is mercilessly dragged downward into a state of perpetual hyperextension. You are quite literally crushing your own discs and grinding your facet joints together under the oppressive weight of your own body. Add to this the brutal, relentless compression of your ribcage, forcing your diaphragm to fight a losing battle against the mattress for every single breath, chronically depriving your brain of the deep, restorative oxygen it desperately needs to heal. You are actively suffocating your own cellular repair processes. This is not resting. This is enduring a marathon of sheer physical trauma, silently eroding the very foundation of your health while you dream. Yet, even if you manage to escape the cervical guillotine of stomach sleeping, you might be blindly walking into a far more deceptive postural trap that masquerades as a warm, comforting embrace. Side sleeping, particularly the highly romanticized and widely practiced fetal position, is the most common sleeping posture on the entire planet, and it is quietly wreaking absolute havoc on your structural symmetry. We are deeply, psychologically conditioned to curl up into a tight ball when we are exhausted, subconsciously seeking some primal return to the safety and isolation of the womb. It feels emotionally secure, but mechanically, it is a slow-motion collapse of your entire skeletal architecture. Think deeply about the unforgiving physics of lying on your side. You are taking the entire weight of your body and concentrating it onto a drastically reduced, highly vulnerable surface area, the fragile point of your shoulder and the outer curve of your hip. The delicate acromioclavicular joint in your shoulder was never biologically designed to bear your full body weight for an 8-hour shift, which is exactly why countless people develop chronic rotator cuff degradation and wake up with dead, tingling arms lacking blood flow. But the true, insidious danger lies in the devastating asymmetry. The human body is a beautifully balanced, symmetrical machine that requires even distribution to function optimally. When you sleep on your side, your top leg inevitably drifts forward and drops heavily onto the mattress, violently twisting your pelvis out of its natural alignment and torquing your lower back into a deep lateral bind. Your spine sags downward like a poorly supported, decaying suspension bridge. Furthermore, you are physically crushing your internal organs into a confined, unnatural space. Sleeping on your right side actively exacerbates acid reflux by allowing caustic stomach acid to easily bypass the esophageal sphincter, burning your throat, while sleeping on your left places unnecessary, sustained gravitational strain on your heart and lungs. You are actively shaping your fascia into a twisted cage. Over decades, this asymmetrical loading severely tightens the muscles on one side of your body while completely overstretching the other, hardwiring debilitating muscular imbalances deep into your soft tissue. You genuinely think you are resting in a cozy, natural state, but the brutal reality is that you are slowly molding your frame into a permanent, twisted crouch, ensuring that when you finally stand up to face the world, your posture is already profoundly compromised before your feet even touch the floor. Once you truly understand that twisting your spine and collapsing your joints are structurally disastrous, there is only one logical protocol left to weaponize gravity and turn it into your greatest ally. The supine protocol, or simply the discipline of sleeping completely flat on your back, is the ultimate architectural triumph of human biomechanics. This is not merely a sleeping posture. It is a calculated, deliberate state of profound physiological reset. When you lie perfectly flat on your back, you are utilizing the absolute maximum surface area of your physical body to distribute the brutal, relentless pull of gravity evenly and safely across the entire mattress. It is basic, undeniable physics. Greater surface area equals exponentially less pressure per square inch on any given joint or muscle group. In this sovereign state, your skeletal joints are suddenly and mercifully relieved of their crushing daily burdens. Your neck, spine, and pelvis are finally granted the rare, crucial opportunity to perfectly align in their natural, neutral positions, completely free from the torturous twists and asymmetrical binds of side and stomach sleeping. Your rib cage is liberated, expanding fully and effortlessly toward the ceiling, allowing the diaphragm to pull massive, sweeping volumes of oxygen deep into the lowest lobes of your lungs, feeding your starving cells exactly what they need to repair the cellular damage of the day. Your internal organs sit comfortably in their intended anatomical cavities, uncompressed, unbound, and highly efficient. Even your facial skin, completely spared from being forcefully mashed into a friction-filled pillowcase for a third of your waking life, naturally resists the premature wrinkling, stretching, and aging that side sleepers unknowingly inflict upon themselves night after night. I know exactly what your brain is screaming right now. You try sleeping on your back and you immediately feel painfully exposed, vulnerable, and deeply restless. Your racing, anxious mind completely rejects the stillness because it lacks the false, womb-like security of curling up and hiding from the world. But this is exactly where you must forcefully separate the elite, fortified mindset from the weak and undisciplined. Back sleeping is the undeniable posture of kings, of unrelenting warriors, of stoics laid out in solemn, dignified repose. It requires a tremendous amount of physical and mental discipline to master initially, but the return on this biological investment is entirely unparalleled. You stop uselessly fighting the mattress and start allowing the sheer, terrifying force of gravity to flawlessly pull your skeletal system back into perfect, commanding alignment. Transitioning into this elite state of physiological recovery is not an overnight miracle, but a deliberate, relentless recalibration of your ingrained habits to reclaim your vitality. You cannot simply decide to be a strict back sleeper tonight and expect your deeply conditioned unconscious mind to comply without putting up a massive, frustrating fight. For the first few grueling weeks, you will inevitably wake up in the dead of the night, disappointed to find that you have instinctively rolled back into your old, twisted, asymmetrical comfort zones. This is the exact, critical moment where you must absolutely not surrender to the weakness of habit. Reprogramming your sleep biomechanics requires strategic, intelligent intervention. You need to physically construct a sleeping environment that makes failure nearly impossible. Start by placing a firm, supportive pillow directly under the backs of your knees. This simple anatomical hack instantly flattens the harsh, painful arch in your lower back, rotating your pelvis into a plush, neutral tilt that takes the agonizing, built-up pressure entirely off your lumbar discs. Next, aggressively strip away that massive, fluffy monstrosity of a pillow you have been using under your head. You require a dedicated cervical contour that perfectly supports the delicate inward curve of your neck without aggressively pushing your skull forward into a miserable, airway-restricting text neck position while you sleep. Your bed should no longer be viewed as a soft place of passive laziness and escape. It must be treated as a highly engineered, precision recovery chamber. The turbulent journey to truly mastering your own biological machine is heavily paved with mental resistance. But the moment you finally break through the barrier, the physical transformation is absolute and breathtaking. You will open your eyes in the early morning not with a miserable groan of deep-seated pain, not with the overwhelming, heavy urge to smash the snooze button, but with a sudden, sharp intake of breath and a body that feels entirely weightless. Your rehabilitated spine will feel like a perfectly stacked, impenetrable column of cold titanium. Your joints will be flushed with fresh synovial fluid, and your mind will possess a terrifying, crystalline clarity. You are no longer a helpless, aching victim of gravity, but a ruthless master of your own biomechanics. Take control of your structural posture tonight. Deeply respect the raw mechanics of your flesh and bone, and prepare to step out your front door tomorrow morning as an unstoppable force of nature. PHNKT. To truly comprehend the monumental impact of sleep biomechanics is to recognize that resting is not merely an unconscious biological default. It is an active, vital process of structural preservation or destruction. Every single night, you are faced with a definitive choice. You can either subject your skeletal framework to the torturous, asymmetrical decay of stomach and side sleeping, or you can weaponize gravity through the supreme discipline of the supine protocol. The grueling reality is that most people spend 1/3 of their entire lives blindly twisting their spines, crushing their internal organs, and suffocating their cellular recovery, all under the false guise of seeking psychological comfort. They wake up broken, exhausted, and compromised, entirely oblivious to the fact that they are the architects of their own physical misery. True recovery demands strict intentionality. By deliberately choosing to sleep flat on your back, you distribute gravitational forces perfectly, allowing your spine to naturally decompress, your lungs to fully expand, and your joints to seamlessly repair themselves without localized pressure. Transforming your bed into a highly engineered recovery chamber by utilizing strategic tools like knee bolsters and cervical contour pillows removes the friction of habit and guarantees biomechanical success. The transition will absolutely challenge your mental fortitude, but mastering this nocturnal discipline guarantees that you will rise each morning not as a victim of chronic pain, but as an optimized, structurally sound machine prepared to dominate the waking world. True comfort is a dangerous illusion when it comes at the cost of structural alignment. We often gravitate toward what feels emotionally safe, like curling up into a tight ball or burying our faces into a mattress, while completely ignoring the silent, cumulative damage being inflicted on our skeletal architecture. The deepest lesson here is that authentic recovery is not a passive state of surrender. It is a highly disciplined practice. What feels immediately comfortable is rarely what is biologically optimal. You must stop treating your sleep as a biological afterthought and start treating it as a nightly performance protocol. Tonight, strip away the massive, fluffy pillows that constantly crank your neck out of alignment. Place a firm, supportive pillow directly beneath the backs of your knees to instantly neutralize the pressure on your lower lumbar discs, and consciously force yourself to lie flat in the supine position. When you inevitably wake up in the middle of the night feeling exposed and tempted to roll over, recognize that this resistance is simply your nervous system fighting to break a destructive habit. Lean into the temporary discomfort to build a permanently aligned, pain-free physical foundation. I have a simple question for you. What is your current default sleeping position, and are you willing to commit to trying the supine protocol tonight? Please drop into the comments section below and share your thoughts and experiences so our community can discuss and learn from each other's unique perspectives. If you found this biomechanical breakdown valuable, please hit that subscribe button. Your support directly fuels this channel and gives us the motivation to keep producing powerful, high-quality content to help you optimize your life.